Namaskar, Pranam, Johar. The whole country today is vibrating with H1B Visa, which is a work permit visa sanctioned by the US government, 85,000 in number per annum. Companies interested in hiring foreign employees, they use it to take in technical people. Now, the American president, Donald Trump, he has jacked up the price. It used to be earlier 2,000 to 5,000 US dollars. And now he has jacked it up to 100,000 US dollars one time for a 3-year visa. Now, in my perception and the editorial that I wish to write about is what is actually causing all this flutter. The flutter is happening because Americans and especially Mr. Donald Trump, they realize that their country is becoming very old. All of us who have been to the US, we know their roads are broad and huge but getting old. Their buildings are getting old. Their whole infrastructure is getting old. Plus, their population also is aging. They need to do something by which they can make their country great again. Here steps in Mr. Donald Trump's election cry of MAGA, Make America Great Again. He is trying to break certain set norms which are not helping the US any longer. They are proving to be counterproductive. Now their decline is very evident and the world was already talking about it. He is probably trying to break the cycle and make new rules, new plans for the game to be played. It's a give and take policy which has been America's motto since centuries, but it is seemingly more pronounced now. In the parallel, we find that Europe is also going through a huge turmoil, partly created by the American change of policies regarding NATO, that means security, regarding energy, and various other critical issues that affect Europe and Europe's existence very directly, with Putin and Russia as a threat, but also the Muslim immigration into Europe disturbing the whites of Europe. So there is a pushback which we saw in the UK and in other countries. That pushback is now becoming even stronger, and it is not limited to only Muslims. It is now focused around colored people. So Indians are also falling in that category. Similarly, Australia is also turning anti-Indian, anti-immigrants. Canada also is becoming anti-Indians, anti-immigrants. So all these possible locations where Indians did migrate or could migrate are also being affected because of the huge amount of migration from the Middle East and primarily Muslim immigrants who are creating trouble in those countries. Present youth, those who are studying now, who have dreams of going to the West to work and to earn more, it is they who are being affected the most, in my opinion. So I wanted to write that it is time India started reinventing itself also. We, first of all, should be aware and should admit we cannot change our infrastructure overnight. We are not like China, which can set up Shanghai like in a few years, or could build the Three Gorges dams. Even our existing cities of Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, all of them, they are all crumbling. The basic amenities are not available. So we do not have the infrastructure. Just building roads connecting the country is not enough. The backup does not exist in India. So if these technically highly qualified youth force is retained back in India, our policies should be aimed at how do we employ them here so that they are productive. This should be a very big challenge for the politicians and the policymakers of this country for the future. It should start now, actually. Apart from that, we have had a recent pact with Japan, for instance. And one of the clauses, it says that Japan and India would exchange 5 lakh technically qualified people in the next 5 years. Here, Japan is saying 1 lakh youth per annum would be dealt with in the next 5 years. It's not just Indians going to Japan, it is also Japanese coming here together. It is time for us in India to also think of our education system. These young people who are there in the IITs, in the NICERs, in AIMS, in higher education, they need to know that apart from English and their mother tongue, it's very essential to learn a different language. And that language is definitely not Hindi. Learning Hindi will not take them anywhere. It is very important for our policymakers to start from the school level itself, that we start teaching Japanese, we start teaching Mandarin, we start teaching Spanish, we start teaching alternative languages which will give our youth more freedom to gain economic independence. This is basically what I wanted to write on. I would be very happy if I can get some feedback from you as to what you think should be the policies that India should adopt, and what can we do now instead of always criticizing. How can we positively contribute with ideas and thoughts? Can we possibly prepare an India which in the next decade will be capable to compete with other nations and be strong within itself like other countries? If you have any points, please let me know. I would like to write. I have certain points more which I am not elucidating here. I would like to also write those. Thank you for listening and watching. Namaskar.